Okay, today we're going to start our clay project. You're going to get a piece of paper and just write your name in the corner. And I'm going to give you this messy mat and a ball of clay. Now this is going to be a coil rolling project. To make a coil, you just want to have a smaller piece of clay and you kind of want to squeeze it in your hands into kind of a hot dog shape. Now this is very bumpy and we want to have nice smooth coils. So in order to do that, you're going to want to put it on your messy mat. And this messy mat has a little bit of dried clay, so I don't like that to get in my coil. And you're going to roll it back and forth on the messy mat, starting in the center, and sometimes your messy mat will move to kind of hold that down. Starting in the center and then working your way out towards the ends. I'm gently pushing down with my fingers and kind of spreading out my fingers as I roll them to the end. And I can see I got a little bit of a lump right there. That's getting to be pretty long. If I see any cracks, I just want to take my finger and smooth those out with my finger. Okay, at this point I've got a coil that's nice and long. I'm going to start just making it into a spiral. I'm going to spiral that up, and I think I'm just going to keep it about like that. That's going to be good. That's going to be the center of my design. So I'm going to put that on my paper. And now at this point, I can take my coil and I can make it into another coil, or I can start to add smaller coils around my main coil. I'm going to coil this one this way. So it kind of makes it like an S. I'm going to put that next to my coil, and you're going to keep going until you have an interesting design. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so now I've got a lot of coils in my design, and I kind of did a couple different types of coils. Kind of looks like a fluffy cloud. When you're finished with your design, I want you to make a coil kind of wrapping around the outside. And if it doesn't all connect, if it's not all one piece, that's okay. This kind of gives it a nice base outline. And then I want you to take some small coils, or not some small coils, you're going to take some small pieces, and you can just use whatever leftover you have. And I want you to make these kind of smaller round clay balls. And then if you see any open spaces, like in between where I see the paper showing, I want to put those round pieces in there, and they can be pretty tiny. They don't have to be very big, just to give it a little bit more clay in those spaces. We're not going to actually see this side. I'm going to show you how we see the design and how it all stays together. So I'm going to try to fill up some of those smaller spaces that I can still see with some smaller clay pieces. And you'll actually see a little bit of the circles that you're creating. I'm going to make these pretty tiny, just rolling them in my hand. They're pretty small. And then once you've got that finished, you're going to take your finger and you're going to blend all of this together. Oops. With your finger, just using your finger to kind of smear that clay so you don't actually see the design. I'm not going to push down on this. I'm just going to smear it with my finger so I kind of am making the design connect with itself. So as you're doing this, you're making sure that you're not pushing down too much, because you don't want to flatten your design. You just want to smooth it out. And then when we are finished with that, I'll show you the last step. Okay, so I've almost got this finished. You can see I've got it nice and smoothed out. Got a little bit right here to smooth out. When you've got the back of it smoothed out, you're going to make sure that you write your name. I want to just kind of double check that I have it nice and smooth. I'm not actually going to see this side. You can use your pencil and just write your name on the back of it, and your teacher's name. You can just write your first letter. And then when you flip it over, this part is really cool. You're going to take your hand and flip it over, and then you peel off the paper and you see your beautiful design. It's kind of a really pretty looking cloud, kind of an abstract, organic shape. And then you'll bring it to me. Any extra clay that you didn't use, I'll collect. We'll get our messy mats put away, and you can wash your hands because your hands will be a little bit dirty. And that is our clay project.